don't you turn around and let them get a view from there and see what the field of view looks like.
Thomas Patton Stafford was born September 17th, 1930, right here in Weatherford, Oklahoma, to father Dr. Thomas Sabert Stafford and mother Mary Ellen Patton Stafford. Stafford's father was the town dentist and had originally moved here from the East Coast, whereas his mother, Mary Ellen, was a school teacher. Stafford's initial interest in aviation came as he watched DC-3s fly over Weatherford from the east to west coast. His school teachers are credited with increasing this interest in his studies, both in English and in math. During the outset of World War II is when Stafford really became invested in aviation, as over in the nearby town of El Reno, the Army Air Corps base was established. After graduating Weatherford High School in 1948, the former high school football standout Thomas Stafford left Oklahoma to go and be a part of the U.S. Naval Academy. Behind me lies the site of Stafford's childhood home, now a park, signified by a historical marker of carved stone that recounts his career. The park itself is named Thomas Stafford Park, and the street running east to west in front of it is Tom Stafford Avenue. Historical sites like these are crucial for several reasons. They not only preserve the memory of influential figures, but they also provide tangible links into the past that can engage current and future generations. By honoring Stafford's legacy in this way, the city of Weatherford fosters a sense of pride and belonging amongst its residents. These spaces encourage public history by allowing people to interact with their local heritage at their own pace, making history both accessible and relevant in the modern day. I now stand on the campus of Southwestern Oklahoma State University, a Division II university in Weatherford, Oklahoma. While Stafford never personally attended, his impact and legacy can be felt here as well. Behind me is the General Thomas P. Stafford Center, a 65,000 square foot, 3-floor building dedicated in his honor in 1996. It contains offices related to student success, as well as the SWOSU Business School. Ultimately, the General Thomas P. Stafford Center not only honors a remarkable individual, but also serves as a beacon of inspiration, reminding us of the significant role public history plays in preserving legacies that shape our understanding of the past and our aspirations for the future. Stafford's own experience in higher education at the U.S. Naval Academy only furthered his career. Finishing in the top 25% of his class, Stafford was offered a chance to join the newly formed U.S. Air Force. He always wanted to fly, quote, higher and faster, so his natural progression was to move on to the test pilot school at Edwards Air Force Base in California. Graduating number 1 in his 1958 class and receiving the award for outstanding student, Stafford was then offered a teaching slot at the school. There, he co-wrote 2 textbooks for the trainees. These events culminated in his appointment on September 17, 1962, as an astronaut with NASA, selected in the second group of astronauts. The General Thomas P. Stafford Collection at the Al Harris Library at Southwestern Oklahoma State University holds significant value for public history, serving as a vital resource that bridges the past and the present. This collection, donated by Stafford himself, includes a wealth of archived and digitized materials such as photographs, documents, videos, and audio recordings that chronicle not only his illustrious career as a NASA astronaut and Air Force commander, but also as the broader history of American space exploration. By preserving and providing access to these materials, the collection plays an essential role in educating future generations about the contributions of individuals like Stafford, making these tangible and relatable to the public. In addition to serving as a historical repository, the General Thomas P. Stafford Collection promotes public engagement with history. The digitization of materials ensures that this invaluable content is accessible not only to researchers but also to students, educators, and the general public. By making these resources available online, the library encourages exploration and learning, allowing a broader audience to discover Stafford's achievements and their significance in the context of the space race and technological advancement. This accessibility is crucial in today's digital age, where information can be disseminated widely and quickly. Stafford made his first flight in December 1965 as a pilot on the two-man Gemini 6 flight with Wally Schirra as commander. On this flight, they proved with precision the viability of rendezvous in space. This maneuver was critical in order for America to reach the moon. Stafford's next flight came in June 1966 on Gemini 9. This time, he commanded with Eugene Cernan as pilot. Again, rendezvous was a critical component of this flight, along with the long-duration spacewalk by Cernan. Stafford was truly the rendezvous expert after 2 Gemini flight rendezvous missions. His experience made him a natural commanding Apollo 10 in May 1969, the command module which you can see behind me, along with pilots Cernan and John Young. This flight proved all the components for a moon landing, including a lunar module trip to within 10 miles of the surface. This flight facilitated the first moon landing accomplished on the next mission, Apollo 11. In July 1975, Stafford commanded his final mission on the international Apollo-Soyuz flight, along with pilots Vance Brand and Deke Slayton. This event began the thawing of the Cold War between the United States and the Soviet Union. When Apollo and Soyuz docked, the famous handshake in space was seen live around the world as Stafford and cosmonaut Alexei Leonov met in an open hatch that connected the vehicles. After the space missions, Stafford left NASA and became commander of the Air Force Flight Test Center in November of 1975. After promotion in March 1978 to Lieutenant General, Stafford became Air Force Deputy Chief of Staff for Research, Development, and Acquisition. He retired from that position in November 1979. Stafford has received the Air Force Distinguished Flying Cross, the Air Force Command Pilot Astronaut Wings, 2 NASA Distinguished Service Medals, 2 NASA Exceptional Service Medals, and the Congressional Space Medal of Honor, among numerous other medals and awards. Stafford flew over 157 different aircraft, including 4 spacecraft. After his long and illustrious career, Stafford made regular visits to the museum and airport of his namesake behind me, as well as other events centered around aviation at the local schools and organizations, of which a few are named after him. Thomas Patton Stafford sadly passed away on March 18, 2024, at the age of 93, but his legacy lives on. General Thomas P. Stafford has profoundly influenced the branding of Weatherford, Oklahoma as a city, helping transform it into a destination for space enthusiasts and history buffs alike. The city's website embraces a space-themed aesthetic, prominently featuring images of astronauts and highlighting Stafford's legacy with the tagline, "Discover Our Space." This clever branding not only showcases the town's connection to Stafford, but also positions Weatherford as a hub of aerospace in the future. Promotional materials, including billboards that read, "Land yourself here," further reinforce this connection, inviting visitors to explore the rich narrative tied to NASA and Stafford's achievements. Additionally, Oklahoma's statewide travel brochures and promotional videos consistently highlight the Stafford Air and Space Museum as a must-visit stop, effectively putting Weatherford on the map as a significant location in the context of space exploration. Through these initiatives, Stafford's legacy is woven into the very fabric of the city's identity, inspiring both local pride and attracting tourism.
Man has certainly progressed a long ways in just such a short few years.